everyone, today we are doing Cambridge IGCSE and it's paper 4 mathematics extended paper, and 0580 is the code and 42 is the paper, May June 2025, and it's of 2 hours. Alright, so the students, they'll have to do all the questions and the total marks of this paper is 100. Formula sheet will be given. Let's begin the paper. So question number 1, a quadrilateral has these properties: the diagonals are the only lines of symmetry. It means each diagonal divides into the two mirror images and image halves, and it has also the order of or rotation symmetry is 2. Write down the mathematical name of the quadrilateral. Whenever it's a rhombus, we know it's a rhombus. That means there are two lines of symmetry, and these two lines are the diagonals, and each diagonals divide the rhombus into two mirror image halves. So as the rhombus has exactly two lines of symmetry both along its diagonals, it has also the rotation symmetry of order 2, which means if you rotate it 180 degree, it looks the same. Alright, so it was a rhombus, which is a quadrilateral. Question number 2, we can see in the diagram the two triangles are at the corners, and the diagram has shows the net of the solid. Write down the mathematical name of the solid. Obviously we can see a triangular prism, so both ends at the top and bottom, it will be a triangle, and then whenever you fold it, it will become a triangular prism. Triangular prism. Alright, now the next question is question number 3. In question number 3, it's given mass of a box A is to mass of a box B is equals to 4:7. The mass of a box B is 2.4 kg more than the mass of box A. Alright, so calculate the mass of the box A and the mass of the box B. Let's take, because the mass of the box A has the ratio 4. Let's take the 4 is the, we can take for A, and it is just the ratio is 4, and we can take it as x. Let's take for B. For B, the ratio is 7, and we know that it is 2.4 kg more, so we will more than A, so we can take x plus 2.4 kg. The total number of ratio, the total ratio is 3 marks question, remember, so you'll have to give all the steps in this question. So the total ratio is 4 plus 7, which is equals to 11. Alright, so if you are going to take they are asking you to calculate the mass of box A and the mass of box B, so we'll have to find out for both. So mass of box A is 4 over mass of box A. We are going to find out box A, and we took that is x. Okay, so its ratio is 4 out of 11 multiplied by the total. The total is x plus 2 plus 4. Total is x plus 2.4, which is equals to 2x plus 2.4. So we will be writing down times 2x plus 2.4 is the value for x. Okay, because we are going to find out the mass of box A. Now just calculate, that will become this is 4 out of 11, then 4 times, we can do it 11 and 4 to the other side, and then it will become, okay, 11 upon 4x. 11 was dividing, it will multiply to the other side, and 4 will divide to the other side. Okay, so either you can multiply and do it whatever you want, but you will get the same answer. So that is multiply by 2x plus 4. 2x plus 4 is equals to 2x plus 2.4. You can see I just took 11 to the other side and 4 also to the other side. That will become 11 upon 4, it was 4 over 11 to the other side. Okay, now just simplify this one, that is 2x, x at one side, like terms at one side, is equals to then it is equals to 2.4. Alright, so 11x minus 11x minus 4 to the 8, 8x upon 4 is equals to 2.4. That is equals to 3x, 11 minus 8 upon 4 is equals to 2.4, and x will be equals to just 4 and 3 multiplied to the other side, 2.4 times 4 divided by 3. Okay, so 3 times 0.8, 3 8s are 24, so that is 3 times 0.8 and 0.8, x will be equals to 0.8 into 4, which will be equals to 3.2. So box A has the value 3.2 kg. Now we are going to find out the value of box B. The value means the mass of box B. So the mass of box B is equals to that is x plus 2.4, x plus 2.4. So x plus 2.4 means 3.2 plus 2.4, that is equals to 5.6. I hope you understood. First of all, what did we do? We took the ratio 4 and x for box A, ratio 7 and x plus 2.4 for box B, and the total will become 2x plus 2.4, the total mass. And then we divided the among, we do the ratio method, and then we found x is equals to 3.2, and the remaining part we subtracted. We just add with 2.4, that will be equals to 5.6. That is the answer for the box A and B. Alright, now question number 4. The question number 4 is of 2 marks question. We can see ABCD is a trapezium. Work out the area of the trapezium. We know that the area of the trapezium is half times height into sum of parallel lines. So the area is equals to of the trapezium is equals to half times height into sum of parallel lines. I can take A plus B, wherever A and B will be equals to 12 and 10, 10 plus 12, and the height we know that it is equals to 8 and times half. So 2 times 4 is 8 and 4 times 22. 10 and 12 will become 22, that is equals to 88 square centimeters. Alright. Now question number 9. Scott changes $300 into pounds, and the exchange rate is $1 is 1.20 pounds. 1 pound is equals to $1.20. Calculate the amount Scott receives. Okay, so we can do easily by ratio method the question. First of all, write down that 1 pound is equals to $1.20. It is just 1 mark question, and x we have to find out the amount Scott receives. So $300 he spent. Alright, so 1.20 is dollars, 1.20. So 300 is dollars, and I'll write down x pounds. So just cross multiply, that is equals to 1.20, x is equals to 300. The answer will come into pounds. So 300 divided by 1.20. Just use your calculator and find your answer. So that is 300 divided by 1.20, and that is equals to 250 pounds is the answer for this question. Alright, so question number 6. In question number 6, a solid wooden cone has the base radius is 4 centimeter and the height is 12 centimeters. Alright, the density of the wood is 0.74 grams per centimeter cube. Calculate the mass of the cone. So mass is equals to, density is mass upon volume, then mass will be equals to density multiplied by volume. But we have the density, but we do not have the volume, and the shape is a cone. For cone, volume of the cone is equals to, we know that it is a pyramid, circular base pyramid, 1/3 pi r square h, and that is, you can check it in the in your formula sheet is also there available. Otherwise, remember the formula as well. 1/3 pi 4 square and 12 centimeter is the height, and then 3 times 4 is 12 and 4 cube is equals to 64 pi. Alright, so the volume of the cone is 64 pi centimeter cube. Mass is equals to density multiplied by volume. Mass is equals to 0.74 times 64 pi. Use your calculator and find your answer. 0.74 times 64, and you are going to find out 64 pi. That is equals to 148.79. 148.79. It means for three significant figures we can write down 149 corrected to three significant figures. Alright, so angles we take one decimal place and the other value sides and all the things we will take the answers in three significant figures. Alright, so the next part, question number 7. The question number 7 is y is equals to mx plus c, and that is rearrange the formula to make m the subject. So mx plus c is equals to y, and we have to make m subject. Alright, mx is equals to y minus c, and x is equals to, no, we have to take m subject. M is equals to y minus c over x. Y minus c over x, that is of 2 marks question. Calculate question number 8. Calculate 2.1 square minus 1.9 divided by 0.5. Calculator, just take your calculator. Now this is 2.1 square minus 1.9 and then divided by 0.5. That is equals to 5.02, which is already in three significant figure answer. So this is equals to 5.02, 1 mark question. Alright, the next question is we are going to find the answer for the simultaneous linear equations. Solve the simultaneous equations. You must show all your working, and this is question is 2w minus 3y is equals to 11 and 3w plus y is equals to also 11. So I'll be taking elimination method, otherwise substitution will also go for this question, and it's easy. Alright, so for the second question, if I eliminate y, I'll have to multiply the whole equation by 3. This equation I'll multiply by 3 to cancel y, to eliminate y. So 2w minus 3y is equals to 11 and 9w plus 3y is equals to 33. I'll add both of them, then 2 and 9 will become 11w, and plus 3y and minus 3y will become 0, and then 11 plus 33 is equals to 44, and w is equals to 44 over 11, that is equals to only 4. Okay, alright, now it's easy for me to substitute in the second equation, which is put w is equals to 4 into, otherwise you can put it any one, and then confirm your answer as well. So that is 3 times w plus y is equals to 11. 3 times 4 is 12 plus y is equals to 11. So 12 plus y is equals to 11, and y is equals to 11 minus 12, and it is equals to minus 1. So fw is equals to 4 and y is equals to minus 1. That is 3 marks question. Okay, so question number 10. We are at question number 10 now. A group of 12 adults and 9 children travel on a bus. Alright, so the cost of an adult is $9. So for 12 adults, the cost will become, for 12 adults, the total cost will become, that is $12 dollars. Okay, so after that, a cost of a child ticket is n minus $10. Alright, so for nine children, for 9 kids, or for 9 children, it will become 9 times n minus $10. Alright, so the total cost is given 277.50. So obviously these two we'll add it together, we'll get the cost of cost, that is if n is the cost, then the n will be the answer for this question. Alright, or if separately they'll ask you, then we can also find out. because for 9 we will multiply by 9 times n minus 10, and for 12 adults we'll multiply 12 by n, but here only one adult is required, so only n is required in the question. Okay, so 12n, the cost of 9 adults, 12 adults, plus cost of 9 children is given in the question, 277.50. So 12n plus 9 times n minus 10 is equals to 277.50. 12n plus 9n minus 90, we are going to multiply 9 with n and 10 both, that is 277.50. So n is 21 and 12 and 9 is 21 is 277.50 plus 90. Whenever we add plus 90.50 and then 7 and 9, that is equals to 300 and just wait 277.50 and plus 90 is equals to 367.50, 367.50. all right, so after that it is equals to 21n, and then divide your answer by 21. Okay, so that is equals to 367.50 divided by 21, that is equals to 17.50. I have found it, so that is $17.50. Now go to the next question. In a sale, the original price of a shirt is reduced by $15. So it means original price is required, so x is the original price, that is 100%. Reduce $15 means 100 minus 15 is equals to 85%, and the sale price is 23.63, so just write down 23.63, cross multiply 85x is equals to 100 times 23.63, x is equals to, which is the question, which is the original price, 23.63 divided by 85. 100 times 23.63 and then divided by 85, that is equals to 27.8, means $27.80. all right, now the next question is find out the total question 12. The length of the rectangle is 16 centimeter corrected to nearest centimeters, and the width of the rectangle is 14 centimeter corrected to nearest centimeter. Calculate the lower bound of the parameter of the rectangle. Lower bound, upper bound question can quickly find out the lower and upper bounds, and parameter means for lower we'll add lower with lower. all right, for 16, if we just take the upper bound to the nearest one, means 1/2 nearest centimeter. Okay, 0.5 will give you the upper bound and minus 0.5 will give you the lower bound. For 14, plus 0.5 will give you the upper bound, because they both are corrected to nearest centimeter, minus 0.5. so the upper bound will become 16.5, yes, 16.5, and this is equals to 15.5, and whenever we plus it will become 14, yes, 14.5. it is 15, 14 and 15. okay, so that is 14.5, and 14 minus 0.5 is 13.5. okay, so calculate the lower bound of the parameter means addition. We take the lower with the lower, so parameter is equals to 2 times L plus B, because it's a rectangle. So we'll take the lower bound of the length and the lower bound of the width or the breadth. okay, so now 2 times we'll take 15.5 and 13.5, so 2 times 15.5 and 13.5, so 15 and 13 and 1 will become 24. Yes, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So it's 29 because 15 and 13 is 27 and 27 plus 1. Okay. You can use a calculator also. 29 only. Alright, so that is 29. 2 times 29 is equals to 58, the double number of it. So 58 centimeter is the lower bound of the perimeter of the rectangle which is given in the question. Now question number 13, triangle ABC and triangle PQR are mathematically similar. Calculate the value or the length of the PR side. So they are mathematically similar, and PQR and ABC are similar. So we will be taking AB upon PQ because PQ is given. AB upon PQ. AB is the bigger triangle, and because of the PR side I'll take AC. Okay, AC upon PR. So your AB is 9 given. 9 over 6 is equals to, you will have 12. Yes, AC is 12 upon PR. Cross multiply. So PR is equals to 6 times 12 and then divided by 9. Okay, that is becoming 3 times 2 and 3 3s are 9, and then it will be 3 times 4 is 12. Okay, so we are getting P2R. So 2 times 12 is 24 over 3, that is equals to 8. 8 centimeter is the answer for this question. Alright, so triangle ABC and triangle PQR are the cross section of the two prisms. These prisms are mathematically similar. The volume of the smaller prism is 1120 centimeter cube. Find out the volume of this one. Okay, so V1 upon V2 is equals to L1 upon L2 whole cube. Whenever we take, if I'm going to take V1 as the bigger one, so V1 is unknown, and V1 is, I will take that is V1, and that is equals to 1120. L1 I'll take 9 and L2 I'll take 6. Okay, 9 over 6, which is equals to, okay, which is equals to 3 over 2. Alright, now V1 upon V2 is equals to 3 over 2 whole cube. V1 V2, instead of V2 write down 1120. V1 upon V 1120 is 3 cube is 27 and 2 cube is 8. Just cross multiply. V1 is equals to 27 upon 8 times 1120. Take your calculator and find your. So this is 27 times 1120 and then divided by 8. And your answer is 3780. So 3780 cubic centimeter is the answer for this part. Alright, now question number 14. Factorize 5x minus 10 minus ax minus 2a. We will do in the grouping. Nothing is common in all. Now take into the grouping is equals to 5 is common and x minus 2. Minus a is common and x minus 2. So in both of them x minus 2 is common and 5 minus a left. That is the answer for this question, 2 marks question. So x minus 2 and 5 minus a is the answer for this question. Alright, now question number 15. In question number 15, it's given that the interior angle of a regular polygon is 172. Find the number of the sides of this polygon. So we can do this question by interior and exterior both. Alright, so Now I'll calculate my answer separately and then write down directly here because it's taking time in the video. Now listen, it is each angle, interior angle, is equals to n minus 2 into 180 degree upon n. So that is each interior angle is 172 is equals to 180 n minus 360 degree. We multiply 180 by both n upon n, and then just quickly multiply 172 n is equals to 180 n minus 360 degree. And now what do? We will be writing down 172 n minus 180 n is equals to minus 360 degree. So that is 172 and 80, the difference is of minus 8 numbers, minus 360, and n is equals to 360 over 8. 4 8s are 32, and then 4 left, then 5 times 40. So 4 times 45 sides is the value for n, 45. Or you can do this question by exterior angles also. Mostly students I have seen they do by exterior, some of them also, that exterior angle and interior angle sum is equals to 180 degree. Exterior plus interior is equals to 180 degrees. So if interior is 172, so exterior will be equals to 180 minus 172 is equals to only 8. So n is equals to 360 over each exterior angle. So that is 360 over 8, and then in that case also you get the same answer. Whatever you like you can do for this question, that is of 2 marks here. Alright, so we have completed 15th question. Now the 16th question, on any day, the probability that the weather will be sunny is 0.7. Alright, so for find the probability that on any day the weather will not be sunny, 1 mark, just write down 1 minus 0.7, because the total probability is 1. The greatest is 1 and the lowest is 0. So that is equals to 0.3. When the weather is sunny, the probability that Rohit goes for a walk is 0.9. Alright, when the weather is not sunny, the probability that the Rohit goes for the walk is 0.2. To find the probability on any day Rohit goes for a walk, either sunny or not sunny. They just emphasize for the walk. So we can make a tree diagram if you want, or directly also you can do it. For the explanation I am drawing a tree diagram. Okay, so for sunny and for not sunny. Okay, so for the sunny day it is 0.7, and for not sunny it is 0.3. So I'm making the branches for the weather, that it is for the walk or not walk. So walk and not walk, then here walk and not walk. Alright, so for the walk is 0.2. For the walk, okay, goes for a walk is 0.2, and not for the walk is alright. So okay, now read the question, hold the question again. When the weather is sunny, the Rohit goes for the walk is 0.9. Okay, 0.9, sunny and walk. Sunny, we know that it was the 0.7, and walking as well is 0.9. Where the weather is not sunny means we'll just use the other branch, this one. The walk is 0.2, so you will be writing down here. Okay, for walk it is 0.2 when the weather is not sunny. So this is not sunny and walk. Okay, so what are we going to do? We are writing down the probability that is equals to 0.7 times 0.9 plus 0.3 times 0.2. This is for sunny and walk, and this is for not sunny and walk, and we have to find out for walk probability. Okay, then this is for walk. Alright, so that is 0.7 into 0.9, that is 0.63, and 0.06, which is equals to 6 and 3, which is 9, and 6 and 0.69. 0.69 is the answer for this question. Okay, let's move to question number 17. In question number 17, Alex invests $400 at the rate of 2.3% per year simple interest. Find the total amount Alex at the end of 5 years. So it's a simple interest question. Simple interest means I equals to PRT upon 100. So your principal is investment is 400 and the rate is 2.3% per annum or per year, and the time is given 5 years. Okay, I equals to PRT upon 100, that is equals to 400 into 2.3 into 5 upon 100. Let's calculate. That is 400 into 2.3. You can cancel zeros also if you want, into 5 and then 100. That is equals to only 46. But they're asking you to find the total amount at the end of 5 years. So the total amount will be equals to, amount is equals to principal plus interest. Principal was 400 and the interest is 46, so 446 is the answer for this question, and it was 3 marks question. All right, now the next one is, in this question, little logical, so you'll have to understand this one. Virat has $100 to spend. The total amount is $100. In Feb, he spent X dollars. All right, expenditure in the Feb was X dollars. In March is 10% more than this expenditure in Feb. In April, spends 10% more than he spends in March. At the end of April, Virat has 33.80 remaining. It means after spending some amount from $100, he has left 33.80 with him. Find the value of X. It means how much he spent in Feb. Okay, in Feb, the expenditure is in Feb, spending is X dollars. In March, spending, we are going to find out. All right, in Feb it is X, the original one, which is 100. This is Feb. In March it is, if I'm going to take, I cannot take X because I don't have any like relation with it, so I'll write down Y, but it is $110. Okay, so just simply cross multiply. That is equals to 110 X is equals to 100 Y, and Y is equals to 110 X upon 100. That is equals to 1.10 X dollars is the expenditure in March. So we have in Feb X dollars, in March 1.10 X dollars. All right, now we are going to find out in April, which is the last month. All right, so in April, spending, so we'll have to always just look the previous one, which will become the original one. So this time the March is the original one. March 1.10 X, which is the expenditure, which is 100%, and this time again 10% more, so I'll take just Z. Okay, so I'll have to take a variable. You can write down for March also, so April also, so that is for April. Okay, now just simply cross multiply. Z is equals to 110 times 1.10 divided by 100. Okay, all right, 0 if I'm going to cancel, 11 times 11 is 121, so 1.21 X will be the expenditure in April. So I found in April 1.21 X. In Feb it is X dollars. In March it is 1.10 X dollars, 10% more. Now more 10% in 1.10 X is 1.21 X dollars. So total expenditure we are going to find out. So the total expenditure is equals to All right, so the remaining amount is also 33.8, and we'll find out the total expenditure. So the total in Feb March spending is equals to Feb, March and April is equals to x and 1.10x and 1.21x. Okay, this is 1 and 2, this is 3.31x. all right, so this is the total expenditure, but they didn't give us expense, they gave us the remaining. So find out the remaining. How much is the remaining? The remaining amount is 33.80. so the total is $100. The remaining amount is $33.80. So expense is equals to 100 minus $33.80, which is equals to $66.20. all right, this is expense, and 3.31x is also expense. So we'll be writing down that 3.31x is equals to 66.20, and x is equals to 66.20 divided by 3.31, and then calculate. It is equals to, wait, so that is 66.20, and then divided by 3.31. sorry, it is decimal place. 3.31, that is equals to only 20. So expense in Fab is $20, which is the answer in this question. So in this question, which is of 3 marks question, I'm explaining again. Virat has the total 100, remaining 33.8, so we subtract, and 66.20 is the expense. From the beginning we found Feb was X dollars, March was 10% more, 1.10. This you can easily find out, but in April you will have to work for it. So the more 10% in 1.10 is 1.21x. Add all of them and writing down this 3.31x, which is the expense, is equals to 66.20, and calculate and find your answer. all right, now this question, part C. Bobby invests $500 in account that pays compound interest. The simple interest is I equals to PRT upon 100, and compound interest is amount is equals to P times 1 plus R over 100 to the power n. Remember, at the end of 17 years, the value of Bobby's investment is 700.13, which means it's the amount. Find the value of Bobby's investment at the end of 20 years. So your principal in this question is equals to $500, and the rate is not given here. So we need to find out the rate to get the value for 20 years. Okay, first we'll take n is 17 years, and the amount in 17 years is becoming $700.13. So amount is equals to P times 1 plus R over 100 to the power n, and n is 17. So that is 700.13 is equals to 500 times 1 plus R upon 100 to the power 17. So what do we do? This calculation I will show you, because students they find it difficult. Upon 500 is equals to 1 plus R over 100 to the power of 17. So what do? You just find out 700.13, wait, 0.13 divided by 500 equals to 1.40026. 1.40026. I'm writing down the full thing because further I'll have to use in this question. So you will have to find out 17 root of 1.40026 is equals to 1 plus r over 100. If it is square root, we'll take the square, then we'll take the square root. Obviously we'll do the same thing. All right, so we are going to find out the 17th root here. So just quickly find out. That is equals to 17 root of, inside it is 1.40026. Wait, 1.40026, that is becoming 1.0200. So 1.02 is okay. 1.02 is equals to 1 plus r over 100. 1.02 minus 1 is equals to r over 100. That is equals to 0.02 only. R over 100, r is equals to 0.02 times 100, which is equals to 2%. So it means that whenever it was the compound interest was 2%, the amount becomes that was 700.13 for this investment. So right now we found that it is 2%. So calculate at the end of 20 years how much is the amount. Amount is equals to p times 1 plus 2% to the power n, because 20 years pick how much will be the amount they're asking us. So just quickly find out this one, that 500 times, that is 1 plus 2 upon 100, and then you will have to find out power is equals to is 20. So that is becoming 742.973. So 742.97, and in three significant figure it is $743. All right. So in this question, first we calculated. I'll calculate the numbers before it. Okay. Now, first of all, in this question, what was missing? The rate was missing. To find out the total investment will become, how much it will become, the value will become after 20 years. So, but they gave us the hint that at 17 years, the amount will become 700.3. With the help of it, we found how much is the rate. I've shown you how to calculate on the calculator also. So that is easier. Now for easy calculations, I'll not show now, it takes time. Now look in front, it is 18th question in the paper. Angle properties of circles ABCD and E lie on a circle XYZ. We can see in the question, always I tell you to just check what is happening, how many properties, what can be possible. So here, angles in the same segment from this side. Okay, if it is 26, it's also 26. If it is x, then it's also x. So we can do the question by many ways, and it is also like this. And we can see that y is equals to 52 also by looking at the diagram, and that angles in the same segment. And we have some cyclic quadrilaterals as well. All right, like this also cyclic quadrilateral, and like this also cyclic quadrilateral, but we don't have the isosceles triangle because the radius is not there, and they haven't marked any equal lines. But there are too many triangles that triangle sum is equals to 180 degree. That property can be possible. Okay, so x, y, and z. First of all, x, which is very simple and easy. X is a part of this triangle which has 26, 125, and x angle. The sum is equals to 180 degrees. So finding out the value of x, x plus 125 plus only 26 is equals to 180 degrees. So triangle sum is equals to 180 degree. Interior angle in a triangle, sum of interior angle in a triangle is equals to 180 degree. So 125 and 26 becomes, okay, 157 is equals to 180 degree. X is equals to 180 minus 157, and that is equals to 100 and not 57, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 151. It's not 157. It's 151, yes. And then it will become 29 degrees is X. So just write down 29 degrees. It's easy question. Then for Y, we have already checked how to get the value of Y. It's angles in the same segment, 52. Y is equals to 52 degrees, angles in the same segments. Y is equals to 52. No need to any calculations or any steps. Angles in the same segments. Okay, 52 degrees. Now the last Z. So whenever we look at the Z part, so Z and this angle, they are in the cyclic quadrilateral. Alright. So what we can do, we can easily find out the value here. Alright. So we have found that X equals to 29. Okay. Now it's easy for us to calculate the value of angle B. Let's consider the triangle EBC. In triangle EBC, so you will have in triangle EBC we have 29 and 26 and 52. 29 is E plus B, C plus B is equals to 180 degree. So C is 26 and 52 also. And angle B, which we have to find out for the cyclic quadrilateral. Add all of them together and then subtract from 180 degrees. So I'm calculating B is equals to, wait. So here I have found 29 plus 26 plus 52 is 107 plus B is equals to 180 degree. Angle B is equals to 180 minus 107. 180 minus 107 is equals to 73 degrees. Angle B is equals to 73 degrees and Z is equals to 180 minus 73, which is again 107. So Z is equals to 180 minus 73 because of the cyclic quadrilateral, that is equals to 107 degrees. So we found X is equals to 29 because triangle sum is equals to 180 degree, Y is equals to 52 because your angles in the same segment, and Z is a cyclic quadrilateral. But we found one extra value there to get the answer for Z. Okay. Question number 19. Question number 19 is fx is equals to x plus 1, g of x equals to 5 minus 2x, h of x equals to 2x, f of minus 3. We just have to put the value of x minus 3 here. So f of minus 3 is equals to x plus 1 minus 3 plus 1 is equals to minus 2. In many questions we don't need even the calculator in this paper. Now domain is x and the range is y, remember. Okay, so find g of x is minus 3, 0, 2. These are the x values because they told you that this is the domain. Find the range of gx. Whatever the answer will be coming, that is the range. So we'll find out g of minus 3, g of 0 and g of 2 and write down the range, whatever the answer is coming. G of x is 5 minus 2x, 5 minus 2 into minus 3, 5 plus 6 is 11. The first answer is 11. Then g of 0, write down in the same order because this is given it as a set. Alright, so like if it is domain, then what is the range, like this. So you'll have to write down in the same order. Alright, so g of 0 is 5 minus 2 times 0, 5z minus 0 is 5. So the next answer is 5. Okay, now after that it is the next one is g of 2. 2 means 5 minus 2 times 2, 5 minus 4 is equals to 1. The last answer is 1. Okay, Now find x when hx is equals to 1 upon 32. So just quickly let's check how much is h of x is equals to 2 to the power x. So 2 to the power x is 1 upon 32. We know that 2 to the power x is 1 upon 2 to the power 5. So 2 to the power x is equals to 2 to the power x equals to 2 to the power minus 5. Then x equals to minus 5. Okay, the next answer, find x when h inverse x is equals to 3. It means h of 3 is equals to x. Alright, so like for example, h inverse 5 is equals to 2. It means h of 2 is equals to 5, like that. I have already told you in the previous ones as well, in functions questions. H of 3 is equals to x, and it is 2 to the power of x. So 2 to the power of 3 is equals to x. Then x equals to 8. X equals to 8 in this question. Let's go to the next one. Question number 20, trigonometry. One of the triangle is a right angle triangle. The other triangle is a non-right angle triangle. So the diagram shows a quadrilateral ABCD. CD is 10 meters and DB is 12 meters. Angle DBA is equals to 90. CDB is 56, which is already labeled, and angle ADB is equals to 34. Alright, calculate the length of AB. The length of AB is a part of a right angle triangle. So you can find out by trigonometric ratios. So this is your opposite side. AB is the opposite side, and 12 meter is your adjacent side. Alright, so obviously whenever I just make a right angle triangle here, you can easily understand it is A to B and 34 degrees, and 12 is written there, and this is your question. Alright, so tan of 10 you will be using because it is TOA. So tan of 34 is equals to AB upon 12. AB is equals to 12 tan 34 degrees. This is 12 tan, and then angle is equals to 34. Alright, so that is equals to 8.094. 8.0, you can write down 8.09, correct it to 3 significant figure. Okay, is approximately equals to 8.09. Calculate the area of the quadrilateral ABCD is required. Area of the quadrilateral, the whole quadrilateral is, the first one is your ABD, and the second one I can take a BDC, alright, or BCD. So it means we are going to add the area of both the triangles. Area of triangle ABD plus area of triangle BCD. Okay, the first ABD, half base into height. That is 8.094, I'm writing down. This is the base and height, 12 and 8.094. It's a right angle triangle. Half base 8.094 times 12. Okay, plus area of BCD, if we take, it's a you can see that it's a non-right angle triangle. Half AB sine C, half 12 into 10 into sine 56. Okay, half 12 into 10 into sine 56 degrees. These are the two brackets you will have to solve and then add it together. Okay, so 8.094 times 12, okay, and then divide by 2. That is equals to 48.564. It's 3 marks question. The next one is, the number is 12 into 10 into sine 56, sine of 56, and bracket close, 99.484, and divided by it is also divide by 2. that is equal to 49.742. 49.742. Add it together to get the answer. So 48.564 and then 49.742, and then the final answer is 98.306. So that is 98.306 or 98.3 square meters is the total area of this rectangle, of this quadrilateral, wherever the the area of the total region was required. Okay, calculate the perimeter of the quadrilateral ABCD. Okay, area of the total one. Okay, so we have found this is 8.094 and 10, but these two sides are unknown. To get the perimeter means all the boundary lines we are going to add, and just check how many marks. It is 5 marks question, so we'll have to do everything there. Okay, so okay, so this is the question here. All right, so the perimeter will be all the 4 sides, all the boundary lines, wherever 12 will not include, which is coming in the middle. AB plus BC plus CD plus AD or DA. Alright, so first calculate the side AD. For side AD, we'll take the triangle ABD. In triangle ABD, AD, whenever you just check for AD side, A to B to D, this is 8.094, this is 12. So this is your hypotenuse. So you will be taking 12 square plus 8.094 square. I'm just quickly finding out. So that is becoming 14.475 centimeters. One of the side is this one. Okay. The other missing side is the side BC side. Okay, so in triangle BCD, which is the missing side? The side BC. For finding out the side BC, use cosine rule. Here we use Pythagoras theorem. Okay. So cosine rule, because 2 sides and included angle is given, so we are using the cosine rule like this. This is your 10 and 12 and 56, and this side is required. So the side BC, square root of, I'm just finding out directly, you can add more steps. 10 square plus 12 square minus 2 times A square plus B square minus 2 AB cos of C, like this. So the two sides are 10 and 12 minus 2, 10, 12 cos of 56 degrees. Cos of 56 degrees. Whenever you just, okay, I show you the calculator also for this one to find the answer. So this is square root of 10 square plus 12 square minus 2 times 10 and 12, then cos of 56, and then bracket close also, and this is your answer, that is 10.476, 10.478. Okay, now adding all of the sides, 2 sides which were unknown, we have found it. Okay, that was 14.475 and 10.478, and 10 and 8.094 is the other one. So the perimeter is equals to AB plus BC plus CD. You can see the diagram, and one more side is AD or DA. So your AB is equals to, here it is, A to B is 8.094. I'll calculate. Okay, 8.094. And your, okay, BC, your BC is 10.475. And your CD side is just 10. And your DA side is 14.475. Okay, you can see in this diagram all the boundary lines I have taken. So just add it together, it's very simple. That is becoming 43.047, and we can write down 43.023 significant figure answer. So that is 43.0. For in this question, you can add more steps to get 5 marks. Just show your AD and BC side the working and without the square roots numbers as well. Alright, so that is enough for this question. So find out in part D, calculate the shortest distance from B to the line of AD. B to the line of AD. So shortest distance B to AD. Whenever you just check B to AD side, okay, we have already found the area. We'll take the area help. Then area of the ABD, area of ABD. ABD area is 98 point, which is ABD area, sorry, ABD area is 48.564. Triangle ABD area is equals to 48.564. So I'm just copying down the diagram. You can easily understand this one. Okay, right angle triangle. A right angle triangle. A to B to D, and they are asking us to find out the shortest distance. This is the height and it is the base. Okay, all right, so your AD side also we have which was unknown there, but we have found it to get the parameter as well. So let's check what is the side AD. Side AD is 48.475. So it is 14.475. This is 14.475 and the area is 48.564. Just check above. I've taken out all the answers for the previous questions. So this question is very important because the parts are related to each other. Like if you get the wrong it's a length or any calculations wrong, then you will other answers will also be wrong. So you have to be careful. So half base into height is the area. Your base, wherever your height lands, that is the base. Okay, like this, base, wherever height lands, this is the base and this is the height. So the shortest distance or the perpendicular distance is always the height. So half times 14.475 times height is equals to 48.564. Height is equals to 48.564 times 2 divided by 14.475. Okay, I'm calculating. Alright, so this is equals to 6.71 meters. 6.71 meters. Alright, so question number 21, easier question. In this question, whenever you just multiply the base and add the multiply the coefficient and add the powers in multiplication with the same base. 3 times 5 is 15t, 5 plus 3, 15 t to the power of 3, okay, 8, 15 t to the power 8. You can find out this answer directly, but because of just 2 marks I add this 5 plus 3 this step I added because of this. Just whenever I just saw the marks, so I added this step. Now 64 u 36, u to the power 36 has the whole power 5 over 6. So 64 is also 5 upon 6, and u 36 times 5 over 6. 64 is 2 to the power of 2 to the power 5 is 32, and 2 to the power 6 is 64. Multiply 32 by 2, you get 64. Okay, so 2 to the power of 6 times 5 over 6, u 6 times 6 is 36, 6 times 5 is 30, 6 cancel, 2 to the power 5 u 30, 2 to the power 5 is 32 u 30, 32 u 30. Very easy question, 2 marks question. Now question number 22. Question number 22 is a set question. You have the universal set is the number of the students in a class, and the G is the number of students who study geography, H is the number of students who study history. The Venn diagram shows about the information about the 33 students in a class. When you add 8, 13, 7 and 5, you get 33. One of the students in the class is picked at random. Find the probability that the student does not study geography and does not study history from the class. From the class is out of 33, and does not study history and geography, though there are 5 students, those are not studying both the subjects. Now the next question is, all right, studies geography and studies history. It means studies both are 13. So you just write down 13 over 33 for this part. This is also 1 mark question. Part B, 2 of the students who study history are picked at random. So in the denominator, because it was out of the class, so we just took 33 in the denominator. Here it is out of history, and we can see that how many students are in history. 13 and 7 means 20. So the total number of students in history class is 17 plus 3 is equals to 20. So we'll have to choose from these 20 students whatever they are asking us. Find the probability that the one student who studies geography, we are taking from history. We are just looking from here. And how many students are taking geography? So there are 13. So just write down 13 over 20 times, we did this, one student who studies geography. Now we are and multiply. One student does not study geography. So how many students are not studying geography? So it means in history there are 8. But from here we just picked from there. So we will be writing down one student is out, so that will be equals to 7 over 19. Alright, so those 13 students we took from there, those are studying geography, and one student does not study geography is 7 over 19 is equals to 91 over 380. Alright, so okay, we'll have to take the 2 students. So yes, it is like 13 the students, those are in geography, and 7 are not in geography. So 13 over 20 plus 7 over 19. First time we take the probability for the students takes the geography and not taking geography. Geography and not geography plus not geography and geography. This way we will find out. We can imagine like first time they pick the child, pick the student who is taking geography, and the second time not geography, and the second time what are they taking? The other time that taking for 7 over 19 plus 13 over 20. Alright, so that will become 91 over 380 we have calculated. Now this is also 91 over 380, that will become it is equals to 2 times 91 over 380, that is 91 over 190 is the answer for this question. Alright, so we are assuming this time in this question, which is of 3 marks question, like they are just picking from the history students. So the history students are, this is for history, 7 are taking only history and 13 are taking geography also. So we'll have to pick 2 children. So first time we pick from history students 13 over 20, and the other child obviously be 7 over 20. Second time we are not selecting 13 one first, we are selecting 7 students from their first and the 13 one later. So that's why it is 91 over 190 in this question. Alright, I hope you understood. Now the next question, 25. Question number 23. In question number 23, just simplify h common, h plus 4, and identity difference of two perfect square, h plus 4 and h minus 4. 3 marks question, so I'm adding this step, h square minus 4 square, which is h times h plus 4 and h minus 4, and then you can cancel. Answer will be h upon h minus 4. Okay, now the next question, number 24. Ahmed walks 2 kilometers at the speed of x kilometers per hour. He then walks at the further 3 kilometers at the speed of x plus 1 kilometers per hour. The total time he takes to walk the 5 kilometers is 1 over 4 hours. 5 kilometers, first 2 and then 3. Total time is 5 upon 4 hours. Total time. 5 upon 4. 1 is 4 plus 1, 5. 5 upon 4 hours. We'll have to show this equation, 5x square minus 15x minus 8. Time is equals to distance upon speed. Distance upon speed, the first one. The second one, 3 upon x plus 1. And the total time is 5 upon 4. We'll have to simplify this. 2 times x plus 1 plus 3x upon x square plus x. We multiply 5 upon 4. 2x plus 2 plus 3x, x square plus x equals to 5 upon 4. When you multiply x times x plus 1, maybe you don't understand, so that is equals to x square plus x. Now 4 times, first of all simplify, 2 plus 3 is 5x plus 2 upon, upon x square plus x is equals to 5 upon 4. Now you can cross multiply. 4 times 5x plus 2 is equals to 5 times x square plus x. 4 5s are 20, it is 20x plus 8 is equals to 5x square plus 5x. Alright, 5x square plus 5x minus 20x minus 8 equals to 0. 5x square minus 15x minus 8 is equals to 0 shown. Alright, so we have shown this equation. Find the value of x, show all your working correct to 2 decimal place. So this equation, 5x square minus 15x minus 8 is equals to 0. Factorization is not possible. Take the quadratic formula. X equals to minus b plus minus square root b square minus 4ac upon 2a. A is 5, b is minus 15, c is minus 8. I'm calculating myself. Alright, so this is x equals to minus 15 plus minus b square minus 15 square minus 4 ac upon 2a25. X equals to 15 plus minus, calculating this one. Wait. 15 square minus, what was it, 20, 28, right? Okay, that is 385 upon 10. Okay, now you'll find out the answer one by one. Obviously, positive answer is only applicable because it's the speed of the car. Okay, so we ignore the negative answer. X equals to 15 plus square root 385 over 10, which is equals to 3.46. 3.46, it is in kilometers per hour. Otherwise, the other answer, obviously, we'll take to two decimal places. We'll have to show the value of x. So we cannot leave it here because this is the solution of the equation. Alright, this is okay, minus 0.46. Corrected to two decimal place. So we ignore the negative one as the speed can't be negative. So that is why 3.46 is the answer. Now question number 25. P is the 0.80, Q is the 0.26. Find the equation of the perpendicular bisector of PQ. Give your answer in the form y is equals to mx plus c. Alright, perpendicular bisector, like for example, this is P and Q, 80 and 26. I'm just I'm not making a proper line. Now this is the perpendicular bisector, lies in the middle, and they're just asking you to find out the equation of this line. So they are perpendicular. First find out the gradient of the line PQ. Y2 minus y1, this is x1 y1, this is x2 y2. Y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. 6 over 12 is equals to half. So the perpendicular line, which is the required line, if this is half, this will be equals to minus 2, because m1 multiplied by m2 equals to minus 1. Half into the gradient is minus 1, so the gradient of the perpendicular line will be minus 2. Okay, now we find out the midpoint to get the value of x, to get the value of your equation. x1 plus x2 upon 2, y1 plus y2 upon 2. Alright, PQ midpoint 8 plus 20 upon 2, 0 plus 6 upon 2, that is 28 upon 2, and 6 upon 2, that is equals to 14 and 3 is the midpoint. Now we are going to find out the equation. What happened whenever you find out the equation y equals to mx plus c, midpoint is 14, 3 and the gradient is minus 2. We have to calculate the value of c. Y equals to mx plus c, 3 equals to, this is your x and y, and the gradient we are just replacing it. Minus 2, 14 plus c, 3 is equals to minus 28 plus c. C is equals to, okay, 3 plus 28, which is 20, 29, 30, 31. So y equals to minus 2x plus 31, which is the equation. Alright, so this was also 5 marks question. Question number 26, y is equals to ax power 11 plus 3xb dy upon dx is 44x10 power 10 plus 18x power of c. Easily we can understand that we have to differentiate and then compare both the equations and get our answer. So the question is also just 2 marks question it is. So y is equals to ax 11 plus 3xb dy upon dx, the derivative of it, 11ax reduce 1 power plus 3bxb minus 1. And the other dy upon dx is 44x10 plus 18xc. Compare, that is x10, 11, a equals to 44, then a equals to 44 over 11, which is 4. A equals to 4. Now just try b. Your b is 3b is equals to 18. 3b is equals to 18. b is 18 over 3, which is equals to 6. 3 times 6 is 18. Now c. X is the same. Power is b minus 1 is c. C is equals to b minus 1 and b is equals to 6. 6 minus 1, c is 5. Now c is equals to 5. We just found do the differentiation, do the derivative of y, and then we found the answer for this one. Alright, the last question of this paper. The diagram shows a cube. Calculate the angle between the diagonal AP and the base ABCD. Alright. So you can see there is no measurement given. We just have to calculate. Okay, the diagonal AP, the diagonal is AP, and the base ABCD, the angle between them. This one, theta is required. And we don't have any measurement. So let's take x because it's a cube. All the sides are same. Okay, all the side your base and your height, length, width, every value I took like it is x. So first we'll have to calculate the side AC. Okay, for side AC, A to B to C, it's a square, so x and x, and its hypotenuse. Your AC is equals to, marks are 4. Okay, x square plus x square, 2x square. AC is equals to square root of 2x square, which is equals to, no plus minus because it's a measurement of the lengths. So x came out and x square root 2. Okay, now we'll have to take we are ready to get the answer. So this is x square root 2. Now I'm taking the triangle ACP angle. This is x square root 2, and it is also x, P and C, because it's a height and it's a cube. Alright, so length and width and height are same in a cube. Alright, so here you have, this is adjacent and opposite to R. So tan of 2R. Okay, now what happened? Tan theta is equals to x upon x square root 2. Cancel. Theta, tan theta is equals to 1 upon square root 2. Theta is tan inverse 1 upon square root 2. Okay, wait. Alright, so inverse 1 upon square root 2. Okay. And bracket close. That is 35.264, 35.26 degrees, 35.26 degrees, or approximately equals to 1 decimal place. It is 35.3 degrees. So that was a 4 marks question. So we completed the whole paper of 0580 IGCSE Maths 2025 paper 4-2, and calculator is allowed in this paper. I hope you understood. So for more videos for your preparation of your exams, please like, share, comment and subscribe the channel. Okay, till then, take care. Bye bye.